Welcome to the Explainer. Listen, the AI bottleneck, it's officially moved. We aren't really constrained by model capabilities anymore. The new arms race we're seeing is entirely about deployment capacity. Let's get right into it.
But hey, before we get into the weeds, just a quick reminder on what we're doing here. This explainer is strictly for education and analysis. It is absolutely not financial advice. Right, with that out of the way, let's drop straight into the analytical action.
Now, looking back just a little bit brilliantly illustrates how fast the ground is shifting beneath us. I mean, remember 2023, we were all obsessing over prompts. Then in 2024, the big buzzword was co-pilots, those digital assistants meant to help humans. But here we are in 2026 and we're staring down the era of deployed agents. These are systems that just execute tasks autonomously. And the hard reality right now is that while AI models are incredibly powerful today, most operators are honestly still struggling to turn that raw, theoretical power into a repeatable return on investment.
Section 1. What Anthropic actually announced. So on May 4th, 2026, Anthropic put out a statement confirming they are, and I quote, building a new enterprise AI services company with Blackstone, Hellman & Friedman, and Goldman Sachs. Now pay attention to the specific partners involved there. This is not just some quiet software update. This is a highly capitalized delivery vehicle, and it's built specifically to push their model, Claude, deep into the core operations of mid-sized companies.
If we look at their confirmed focus, Anthropic is actually bringing applied AI engineers, strict implementation protocols, and long-term support to the table. And this confirms a massive shift in how they do things. They're openly acknowledging that enterprise customers, well, they need way more than just a shiny API endpoint. They require hands-on integration and serious change management to make this stuff work.
Wait a second, though. Isn't this really just traditional consulting with a fancy new AI label slapped on it?
Yeah, it's a totally fair question. But let's look at how this builds a completely different operational model. See, traditional consulting fundamentally sells billable hours, but scalable deployment, that sells repeatable templates. True scalable deployment means you're selling reusable workflows with all the governance completely baked in. So you aren't just renting an engineer's time, you are buying a fully productized system.
Section 2. Why finance goes first. Finance workflows are basically the perfect early adopter for this. Think about drafting pitch books, updating complex financial models, running valuations, or managing massive audits. These tasks all share a few absolutely critical traits. They involve incredibly high labor costs, they are massively document-heavy, and they exist within really strict review cultures. If you can compress the cycle time on these workflows safely, the financial upside is just absolutely staggering.
And this brings us right to the reporting. Notice this quote from Business Insider on May 5th, Anthropic launches AI agents for Wall Street's grunt work. Now, I want to clearly delineate this for you. That massive services firm announcement on May 4th, that is a confirmed fact. This May 5th information about specific, multiple finance-focused agents aimed at common industry workflows, well, that is currently reporting. But honestly, whether it's officially confirmed today or tomorrow, the vector for the whole industry is incredibly clear.
Section 3. Governance is the moat. We like to call this checklist the governance harness. And if you're an operator watching this right here is your Bible right now. You absolutely need strict permissions. Like, what can the agent actually read and write? You need data limits. What is strictly off limits? You need defined human review loops, meticulous logging, and really rigorous change control for whenever those underlying models update. So the crucial point is this. When we talk about deployment capacity, what it actually means is shipping this exact, secure harness wrapped tightly around the AI model.
Hold on, though. We know these models still hallucinate. When this automated system is inevitably wrong, who actually gets the blame?
Exactly. That is literally the million-dollar question. Governance is the product. Listen, if an AI vendor cannot explicitly explain the chain of accountability to you, then what they're selling is not a deployment. It's really just entertainment. It's a demo. Real deployment requires extremely clear legal and operational accountability.
Section 4. The Operator Deployment Playbook. Here is your 2-week deployment sprint checklist. Take notes. Step 1. Pick one specific workflow with clear inputs and outputs. Don't boil the ocean. Step 2. Clearly define what done actually looks like with human controls in place. Step 3. Lock down your permissions. You always want to use the principle of least privilege here.
Step 4, run a tightly controlled 2-week pilot on a very small cohort. And finally, Step 5, measure everything. Measure the cycle time, measure the error rate, and measure the rework. If you aren't tracking those metrics, you simply aren't proving actual ROI.
To give you a tangible, everyday example of what productizing a messy workflow actually looks like in practice, consider the Side Hustle Command Center. This is an educational digital product created by Howard on Etsy. And again, just as a reminder, it's strictly an educational tool, not financial advice. But it is a brilliant illustration of taking a scattered, messy planning process and turning it into a structured, repeatable dashboard template with AI support. That is exactly the mindset you need to have when you're looking at massive enterprise workflows.
Section 5. Moat or services tax. So we have to weigh the ultimate outcomes here. On one side, we have templates and solid governance. On the other, pure services overhead. This entire deployment model is really going to go one of two ways. It will either rapidly accelerate enterprise ROI through reusable, perfectly governed templates, or it's going to degrade into an expensive, bespoke services tax, where companies are basically just paying armies of consultants to babysit language models.
Which brings us to our final judgment. As you look out at the landscape and start planning your AI integration over the next 90 days, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. Think about this. Is deployment capacity the real moat in AI, or will it commoditize too? Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.